Hello there. My name is Sandi Hayner. I live in Stillwater, Minnesota. So I also attended the superintendent's self-evaluation presentation. I had to leave early, so I sent an email to the superintendent soon after, asking if she would send me the scores for the standards that she omitted, so I could fill in the blanks that I had from her presentation, despite me already watching the playback. She responded by saying no. She said she shared all that she wants to share, and I thought that was odd, given that she deliberately requested and made it clear repeatedly that she wanted this evaluation process to be public, including her self-evaluation. So later that day, at the June 12th board business meeting, I asked her if she could clarify why she would not be sharing this. In my perception, the superintendent was immediately defensive and difficult to speak with. I tried to keep it light and friendly, but I did not receive the same demeanor in return. Upon asking the superintendent to clarify why she wouldn't share the gaps in the evaluation, she cited personal data and privacy and the importance of being sensitive to those factors. I asked if those were so sensitive, why did she, for the first time ever, request an open meeting and invite the public to come listen to the private data? I articulated that I do not want the document, just the scores that she glossed over. And from there, it was a bouncing ball that was hard to follow. So the rationale was fluid, and it jumped from the privacy justification to it only actually really matters to the board, to it's not really relevant to the public, to it was an accident and oversight, to no, it was actually a choice, but no, actually it was an accident, that she's over it. She doesn't want to waste any more time on it. It's not a big deal, and it would be unfair to tell me and not the public, and that she has better things to do. So that just sort of revolved back over and over and over. I asked questions about transparency and offered solutions to the challenges she deemed unsurmountable. At one point, she said if I rewatched the recorded meeting, she would think about filling in the blanks. Moments later, she rescinded that. Obviously, this is a power trip as well as seriously frustrating and non-productive behavior. I said that I was frustrated and utterly baffled at the lack of cohesive reasoning in this conversation. If you want a public meeting and you pulled all your cheerleaders in for the fanfare, why would you not give complete data? Why such resistance, especially for an event that she coordinated? Why is the public not deserving of that transparency and respect? She implied that she had the upper hand and I would just have to deal with it. She wasn't going to give me an answer simply because there was nothing forcing her to do so. She then resorted to name-calling. She let out a string of insults and accusations and let me know that she doesn't have to answer me. So let that sink in. The superintendent, the supposed leader of this district, a professional in her field, while on the clock, after being questioned about inconsistent behavior and incomplete data, resorted to insults, name-calling, and belittling me.
Sandy, I'm going to have to stop you there.
So I'm just stating facts. If it sounds demeaning, it's the behavior that's demeaning, not the talking about it. So, the lack of answers was one thing. The lack of respect was another. Her tone felt disrespectful, as was the head bobbing, the eye rolling, and the hand flapping. I wrote to the board and I shared my frustrations with this encounter.
Eddie, we're going to have
I'd like to now
end it there.
update the board. After some follow-up email, I received the missing scores yesterday. However, she did not
Eddie,
email herself.
We're going to have to end it there.
No.
Thank you.
No, we're not.
The reason I have to do that, that's a staff member.
So it's the superintendent, and I'm talking to you about the behavior, and I have an ask, and I would like to be heard. So I understand that the talking about this behavior is making people uncomfortable, and people want to advocate for a superintendent to bully members of the public and clap and defend that, but it's not actually okay. And I'm here to stand up and say that that's not okay.
It's the policy basically says you cannot do that with an
Okay,
employee.
well, then I'll move on to the other part. So I know plenty of staff members. Here's my request. Denise, I think you owe me an apology, and I would like you to share your full evaluation scores with the public. Number two, to the board, my question is, what are you going to do about this? I emailed you about this. I got a few responses, but no assurance that anything was actually going to happen. So I don't know if this blatant respect and division sowing that happens with the paid employees of the district, if that's something that happens, the policy committee, can you take care of that? Can the chair take care of that? The personnel committee? But somewhere along the line, behavior like this needs to be dealt with. And so I encourage you to do so.
Okay, that brings the end